Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video I'll be going through the Sydney Swans versus Geelong Cats AFLW clash, in which it was actually a really good game, and 68-41, it was actually a higher scoring game. I mean, it wasn't like the, Brisbane versus, was it Collingwood or not Essendon? I'd have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure there was, let me just check here. GWS Melbourne was, another 20 odd points more. They ended up with 121, whereas the Geelong Sydney ended up with 109. So 2 more goals, but that was a massive blowout. It was 99-22, whereas this was only a 27-point margin. And if the Swans kick straight, the Swans kicked 5 goals 11. If they kick 8 goals 8, they get to 56, and it's a 2-goal margin there. So it was actually a really good game in the fact that I think after quarter time, it was actually a really even game, and for the Swans coming for 0-10 year last year, just to see their improvement, and they're without their number 1 draft pick from not last year, or was it? Yeah, last year it was, in Montana Ham. I need to actually double check the draft orders, because the Swans might actually have the last 2, like AFL draft number 1 picks. I'm just going to track the drafts, and we'll get to that when here we go. Good. You can trust, I guess, Wikipedia. You can sort of trust that a little bit. So Montana Ham went number 1 in 2022. If we check 2021, you'll see Robon went number 1, etc., etc. Where did Gardiner go in that draft? I don't know where Gardiner was drafted, but Montana Ham was number 1 in the draft, and I need to just check where Laura Gardiner was picked up, because I think she was high as well as I believe Malloy was. I mean, Malloy's been in the system for a while, but that besides the point. They gave up a lot for Laura Gardiner. If we just check here, does it say where they were drafted, when they were drafted? My phone just does not want to work. It doesn't seem like. Season 5, she debuted 2021. Just trying to go through it here, and it's just not wanting to work. But anyway, I'll switch this over to the actual thing, so you can see. So yeah, like I was saying with the Swans, they look a much better outfit now. Overall Geelong dominated the fantasy points, but at the top end, the Swans were the 2 out of the top 3 in their new recruits in Gardiner and Malloy. Just trying to see where Gardiner was picked up. Go to Geelong, Freswell, Featherton, Johnson. She's nowhere here. Still can't see her. So I don't know when she was drafted. Must have been the draft before that in 2020. Let's see, 2020. Just trying to get it up on my phone here. Maloney was drafted that year. Gardiner was drafted with the 20th. So that's a steal to get. To use 2020, to use your 2020 draft pick number 20 and get number 1 and 27 with it. When Gardiner wanted out after, I think she wanted out to Sydney. So yeah, that was a good haul from Geelong. Sorry about the video. We're 4 minutes in and I've barely done anything. But the Swans gave up, I guess, a lot to get Gardiner, and it's really, really worked out. Gardiner 113. She had 27 touches in the end. 9 marks, 2 tackles. 9 tackles, 2 marks, 1 free kick for, no free kicks against, which is huge in this in the fantasy for the women's at the moment, because it seems like there are a lot of free kicks that go. Just looking here, this was 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20 free kicks in, that's about even with the men's, and they're playing 12 minutes left, so that's over a half a quarter less. So if you equate that to the men's, I'm pretty sure that's going to be a 24 free kick game. And the Swans conceded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 12. They conceded only 12, so that's roughly a little bit behind the men's, but when you equate that to the men's full game, that's getting close to what the men would have in a full game as well. So free kicks seem to, and I don't think this was a heavy free kick game from what I saw. I think the free kicks are a little bit heavier in the female game than the men's game. And so Laura Gardiner 113, Malloy 108. She was absolutely huge as well. Kicked a goal line behind. She seems to be that full-time mid that's going to get you 20 touches as well as kick a goal. Those sort of Rosie, I guess Petrarca's in the same boat when he plays full-time mid. Those type of 20-1 guys. And Malloy's doing it for the girls as well as putting up good tackle numbers as well. So yeah, she's just having a absolute crazy game, and she has an immense time on ground. If you look here, 94%. Moffat here going up against the double rucks of Hoare and Darby. She did really well as a basic single ruck, basically, with Mitchell backing her up in the back line, and I think Hamilton was in the forward line backing her up. And yeah, she was 34 hit outs, so that's a bunch of hit outs. That's considering that 80 is a really decent score in the women's game. It seems like 80-85. For her to get 35 points there is quite easy, it's really, really good. And if we do a cheeky little, I need to actually put her on field, do that, just to check out her stats. So she's averaging 90 across the 2 games playing GWS and Geelong. And she does, obviously, rucks give away a lot of free kicks, has kicked a goal in both games. Not the biggest tackler, but I mean, it is I don't know how North Sydney sort of distorts the scores a little bit, but we'll wait and see on that one. But it seems like, and she is playing Brisbane with Hickey in ruck for them. So let me just check with what Hickey's doing, because Hickey's getting quite a number of hit outs as well. So that'll be interesting what happens with Moffat against Hickey, and I believe they've got some other ruckman Brisbane, but we'll wait and see on that one. Forward line, let's just see. I don't think Conway's participated in the ruck at all. Nope. Davidson, no, she's not tall enough. I swear there's another forward that's participating in the ruck, but it might be, yeah, here you go. Taylor Smith as well, having a little bit of an impact in the ruck. Is Postlethwaite in there as well? No. So, as you can see, Moffat is going to be, I think she could be a girl that gets up to 1.2, 1.3 mil by the end of the season, but she's tracking really well. And 86, a little bit lower than what I thought she could do, but I think she could easily have a 6-7 tackle game as a ruckman. That's easily attainable, given how some other rucks are doing. And she plays Brisbane next week, and then I'm pretty sure she has West Coast or some easier matchup in the week after that. It would be nice if that was one of the features that was brought into the game next year, I think, is if they were able to bring in the fixtures upcoming, because it does take a little bit of time to go through and figure out which fixtures are coming up next. Heads 69, 13, 5 and 5, absolutely huge. And I'm pretty sure if you look at this, if I do it this way, then go over here and then go to live scoring, because they have the quarter by quarter to a certain degree, fancy quarter by quarter. And then we go over to the Sydney game and fancy quarter by quarter. Here we go. You'll see here with Heads, didn't get going and then had a huge third where I think she laid 3 or 4 tackles in it as well and had 3 or 4 marks. It was quite a ridiculous third, as well. As you can see, Moffat here, 49-point third. She got on top in that quarter, and just shows that she has the ability to go nuts in the has the ability to go crazy. So I think Moffat is a chance. If she can clean that up and get 20 in each of those quarters there, that's 12, 17, 23 more points, and that gets her up to a 109. If we go back to this screen here, and then the rest of the Swans aren't really that influential. You have Hurley, Newman, Hamilton finished up on a 49. 3 behinds killed a score. If she gets 2 goals, 1 there, that's a 59, and that's all right. That's a forward, but I think she A lot of the promise with her was the chance that she went into the midfield, and she's just not getting that role. It's much like my decision to go with Bruin in the men's fantasy. It just didn't work. That mid-pricer. And then there wasn't really anyone here that I liked the look of from the Swans lower down. Then we move over to Geelong, and Prezi was away early. As you can see here, 23 in the first, 29. So she was on 52. And then if you actually look at the way she scored in the last, it was a lot late. It was a lot late on the far wing. She took a couple marks and laid a couple tackles to get up to that 89. I think she was tracking around about 60 or 65 with about 5 or 6 minutes to go, and then she went nuts to finish on 89, and she really just copped a tag, and I'm pretty sure that tag made her only have I think it was 7 or something disposals in the second half, or something like that, or she was on 9 at quarter time or something like that, and she just didn't do anything after that, because she ended up with 12 tackles to get the score of 89. Morrison, 86, if we look here, wasn't the best kick to handball ratio, and 3 free kicks against 3-4, even kicking the goal there to get to 86, so it wasn't the best effort. McDonald, 85, similar thing, just giving away free kicks, and that can kill the score. That's a minus 7 on the free kick differential. Same with Morrison as well. She had a minus 6, so that really killed them from getting 90s. Shear kicked 5, and that's why she's up there. Parry, only a 61 with 3 goals, is quite low. Emerson, 57, McDonald, Garling, Maloney, 51 off 16, so I'm glad I didn't go for her. She looks sort of stuck a little bit. Doesn't have the best role for fantasy, so not really relevant, I don't think. And then you come down to a lot of the girls that don't really matter terribly much. And that pretty much is the video. So if I go back here, if I go back to that hotkey, actually, my hotkeys are working at the moment. But before we go, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload. And I guess that's the video there. And I'll see you guys in the next one, which will be Western Bulldogs versus Hawthorn. And that, I believe, was, with my tipping, you'll see that I'm actually doing really well. But I believe that was the only tip that I got wrong this round, was I thought Western Bulldogs would win, because they've been really, really shocking, to be honest. And I thought they'd come back, and they just didn't. They lost by, I think, 8 or 9 in the end, and that was the only tip I got wrong. So that's the video, and I'll see you guys in that one. Thanks, guys. Goodbye.